thankful. All right, let's do this. Oh, and I should probably work on this camera a little bit more since I changed this around. All right, welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is the Scholars. This is book 3 of like all the campaigns we're doing. Episode 5 for them, Saga 1. Just so all the nomenclature is out of the way. And let's get some background music going. We are playing D&D tonight, Dungeons and Dragons. It is a role-playing game. Everything you're going to see tonight is live storytelling. And if you're under the age of 14 and you're watching this video, please consult your parents, as you'll likely see content that's not appropriate for you. Finally, we are playing in a homebrewed setting. It is a setting of our creation. It is called Ilderon. It is a world where gods walk around the physical plane with their followers. It is defined by belief and lots of other really cool, interesting things. If you want to learn more about it, there's a wiki. You can Google search Ilderon Tales, and we're the first 3 links, but I think like the 3rd link's the wiki. So the first 2 are just things that like I posted the campaign on that aren't even like our links that come up. But hey, search viability. It's awesome. And is there anything else I need to go over? Oh, I will also be controlling Kayeth for tonight, as JV is not in attendance. Everybody else is here. I was starting these sessions off with trivias or allowing people to like ask questions about the world. I really didn't prepare anything tonight for that. So I don't think I'm going to do it unless anybody has a question or if somebody wants to ask like a trivia question. All right, speak now or forever hold your peace, and the peace is held. Let's get into the recap for tonight. Last session. Session 4 started on the 23rd of Noble inside of Beachwood Retreat. The party arrived to... let me drag us all there. The party arrived to Beachwood Retreat. They were teleported in. Their advisor gave them a warning to avoid the slums of the town. And
so we immediately went there.
Yes. Exactly. And so the party immediately headed towards the slums. I was going to say that slums spelled C-L-U-M-S, but no. Anyways, the party headed to the slums to meet one of Nyoka's contacts, a man by the name of Fiverian, at a tavern known as the Scarlet Knave. From there, the party talked with Fives and got the read on the political situation inside of Beachwood Retreat and this region in general. Fives updated the party that Morgan Darbahari, one of Nyoka's contacts, is currently a member of the Crown, which is a organization of bandits and criminals that generally make people's lives in this region hard. But because they make the region so unstable, other world governments can't come in and colonize this area. Which is kind of like a benefit and drawback at the same time. From there, Fiverian informed Nyoka that one of his former guildmates is serving one of the quote-unquote kayak emperors right now, who had a prophetic vision about Nyoka and sent him here to deliver a letter to him. Fiverian gave the letter that was handed to him to give to Nyoka, and Nyoka read it and realized that Nyoka has 2 paths forward for him. and assumes that his guildmate chose the wrong one. From there, the party felt really uncomfortable inside the Scarlet Nave, as it was kind of a really, really ran down place. Well, not ran down place, but it was kind of a rowdy place. And they left and headed to find other lodging, and I might not be telling this in order, so let me scroll through the wiki to make sure my thoughts are not the wiki, the recap, to make sure my thoughts aren't going every place. Okay, so yeah, they went and found proper lodging, and they investigated more on the on Dean Doolin, and found out this information they got from Fiverian. They found out with Dean Doolin that she does roam through the towns. She was an enforcer inside of Seatown, who slowly who quickly rose through the ranks and became a merchant of the Ruby, and ran her own trade, selling slaves, specifically with debt bonds. From there, Lex ran into one of their former contacts. The contact was down on their luck and dancing for money, as Lex was helped out of a tough situation by the same person who helped this contact out of the tough situation. They had seen Lex's face and noted that that times were getting very difficult inside of Beachwood Retreat. Fast forwarding to the night, the party, after setting up inside of the inn, some of the party members went out to investigate for the night. Kayeth and I believe Anaziah, or Kayeth and Bram went out.
The three of us.
Yeah, Kayeth, Bram, and Anaziah went out. They found a collection of merchants meeting over a gallery, or rather an ending gala. There was, I don't think you guys ever learned what type of processes and artwork was being shown there. I'm going to not say it, and if you guys do know, feel free to add it in, and then I'll know that I did disseminate the information. After that, the party asked the merchants about Dean Doolin, and found out that somebody at that meeting had been in somebody at that gala had been in the very same meeting that Dean Doolin and the Shield Hand were in, and did not have very kind things to say about Dean Doolin or the Shield Hand. From there, the party shared more with them, and shared a drink under the starlit sky, and during the night, the guiding star Seri Sung appeared in the sky as a brilliant green burning ball of light. And that brings us to the morning of the 24th. On the morning of the 24th, Lex left the tavern the party was staying at a little bit early, so they could scope out Seatown for some more information. Going and scoping out Seatown, they ran into two contacts who had, or rather, Lex ran into two people who had talked to her, or their former contact, who disclosed that Lex was in town, and these people did not work for the best person, as far as Lex is concerned. Their employer was not a very good person, likely employed by a person named Verlikus. Anyways, they came upon Lex, content to shank and mug them. Lex instead offered to work for them, in which they agreed to pay Lex 1 gold if they helped out with the
They
job.
make very good decisions.
Yeah. Lex went with them to the cove part of Seatown where all of the pirates reside, and they informed Lex that they were robbing a very precise shipment from some pirates who were coming into town. As Lex ran distraction, they jumped onto the ship, killed the deckhand, and took a bag of presumably gems off of the ship and tried to sneak away. As they were getting away, they were almost noticed, and before the pirates could piece together what was happening, they grabbed Lex and began to run. Running up the winding paths, the all different pirates from Seatown started contributing in and blocking these thugs' path and cutting off Lex. Once they realized that there was no out for them, they stuffed the gems in Lex's pocket and told Lex where to deliver the gems to, and then helped lift Lex to the next floor of the bridges, so Lex could get away. Lex almost made it away, and on the final little sprint, turning on the road out of the cove, Lex was shot by an arrow in the back and went down. And then that brings us back to the rest of the party. Bram and Nyoka. Oh wait, Azure. Azure went to find horses for the party and was able to find a merchant willing to sell them for 15% cheaper than their normal cost. And he will hold the horses for them all day if Azure procures the money. So we're going to pick up with Bram and Nyoka. Both of you are in...
Hold your horses, Brandon.
You guys don't even have horses yet. No, I'm kidding. What's up?
No, that was a joke saying that the guy was going to hold the...
Oh.
Never mind. It was bad.
I get it. No, it's quality. Okay. We're going to pick up inside of the Hungry Harrier. That's the name of the tavern you're staying at, with Bram and Nyoka. The rest of the party has went off to do their business in various places in town. You two have been left to make money for the party however you see fit. And there was one more thing I needed to tell you. Oh yeah, so far you have not heard from your party member Lex.
Okay, so the first thing that Nyoka is going to do is he is going to take the rod, the immovable rod,
Okay.
and he is going to cast.
Oh, that's a pretty good spell. I like that one.
Refresh my memory on what that does.
Hold on. I am. I'm trying to get it to post because I usually don't do spells.
What that spell does, Brahm, is
There we go.
everyone gets distracted by the sound and doesn't pay attention to you.
He is going to cast Distort Value on the rod, and he is going to make it seem like it is twice as expensive
Okay.
as it normally would be.
All right. You are able to do that.
Alright.
I'll come back to your spell save later if I need it.
Yes. And then he, after he does that, he he goes ahead and ties. He ties it to his pack, and then he also he whispers the magic spell words, so somebody can't really pick his pocket. That makes sense, Brandon?
So
Nope.
you're putting this on you, and then you're activating it.
Yes. It's going to be activated to the pack. Does that make where my Nyoka can't move? Because if it can't,
If you're wearing the pack, you can't move.
Yeah, so Bram will watch you activate this, and you say the words "that which pursues," and Nyoka starts stepping forward with Bram, and then you're.
Well, I
just,
whispered that. I don't know if he's
Okay.
gonna hear. It or
You're
not.
just yanked back. Like the immovable rod is not moving. It is a DC 30 strength check to move it, but yeah, it is attached to the pack, and it is stuck in place.
Okay. He changes his mind about that quickly.
Rob takes a few steps around and looks and just puts his hands up in like a what?
Nyoka looks at him very unhappily and says, "Make sure you keep an eye on this thing. Pickpocket be around here."
I tell him I can stick it in my waist under my coat. Nobody's gonna get that.
Yeah. Nyoka actually hands it to him.
Yeah, so I just stick it in my waist underneath my coat. Then close my coat because the coat has that nice buttons there so that you can't get in there.
Well, unfortunately, the way D&D works, they'll still be able to steal it, but as long as you're watching it, Nyoka isn't worried about it. Nyoka
I'm gonna say it. Yeah, it's a pretty
greater-
hard check to steal it
Greater
off. of you.
difficulty check, yeah, exactly. It's gonna take some distraction or disguise or whatever to get close enough, and then
Mhm.
blah, blah,
It's
blah.
me, your friend Kaya. Give me the rod. Be like Nyoka. Give to the party fun. All right, what do you
And-
guys want to do?
And Nyoka says, "Come on, Bran. We're going to go to the magic shops real fast."
Let's go. Although I don't know how much I can do with my whole 9 silver, but let's go.
All right. Where are you guys looking for magic shops at? Because there are
We're gonna go to
a lot
the
of
safe-
places inside of Beachwood Retreat.
We're going to go to the same ones that Morgan went to back in the day to when she bought some silver swords for the ranger. I don't remember his name.
All right, I'm gonna make Nyoka roll me a history check if Nyoka remembers.
Nyoka remembers this because Shelby remembers this.
Shelby remembers this, but Shelby doesn't remember where they were at. And I'm gonna say Nyoka doesn't remember where they were at either.
That's
But
code for Brandon doesn't remember where it was at either.
Brandon has an idea where it's at. But yeah, that's gonna make Brandon's life a lot easier. I don't have to go digging through my notes of precisely where this is at. All right, so Nyoka.
You didn't have to do that anyways, Brandon.
Well, when you tell me I want to go to the exact same place as like this, it's like, oh god, I know where all the Beachwood Retreat stuff is, and all of this group stuff.
I'm just trying to get close. We're gonna try and visit the magic shop.
Yeah,
or at least
that's
attempt to.
all right. So, you are going to lead. You're going to lead Bram to the Master Straits, and that is going to likely be where you're going to find somebody selling, silver and magical weapons of different types. You'll find shops and bazaars out here. If you want, you can roll me an investigation check, or I can just say like the immediate things you'd see, like walking down the street.
Bram, go ahead and roll that.
What are we rolling? Investigation?
Yeah, looking for shops that deal in magical goods. All right.
Very good.
Oh, that's a much better than what I would have rolled. So.
All right. So as you enter the Master's Straits, you're going to go along a row, and we'll call it a Fozzie row. You're going to go along this row, and there is going to be a wealth of guards here. It doesn't look like they're organized in like any, like city guard uniform, of just, different mercenaries with, these banners or amulets denoting, their rank inside of the Ruby Alliance. Positioned at different posts, watching the different stalls, the shoulder-to-shoulder traffic going up and down, this stone street, and the wooden shop fronts. The first place you're going to come across is actually a stall outside of a larger shop. There's an elderly woman. She has several tables placed, and she has two wheelbarrows flipped over on their back, and she's pacing around them. And it's just kind of like a very uncomfortable walk, as there isn't like a lot of space on these streets and these people, and people have to walk around her and her display. And just as you're walking by, she's just going to stop up in front of you and says, "I've come with ceremonial weapons from Cedal, used in all of the wars of different Sarai, names of legend and legends lost. Could I interest you in a mace wielded by Velrir, the sleeping god himself?"
Nyoka is going to pretty much ignore her, but he'll look at the weapon. How good of craft is it?
Okay. She's going to respond to Bram and say, Velrir, he's one of the ascended gods of man. He sacrificed his life, his soul, so that we may live and enjoy this world of the goddess's gift. He sleeps now, forever onward into the future.
Sounds like he had a bad day.
She is going to nod and say, "Those who follow his path know the value of his sacrifice." Nyoka, looking at these maces and these daggers laid out across her table, these are either priceless ancient relics, or these are rusted, ruined pieces of trash. But in any case, they're not in any type of fighting condition. When she says ceremonial, like heavily ceremonial. If you want any more information than that, it'll have to be an investigation check.
Nah, Nyoka isn't worried about that. He's gonna kind of give Brom the nod of let's move on.
Brom just says, "Looks cool, lady." Keeps walking. He is not interested. He doesn't use a weapon, so.
Actually, before Nyoka goes, say, since you do sell ceremonial weapons, let me introduce to you, and he's going to take out the stick Anasaya gave him.
Okay.
And he had kind of carved on it a little bit, but it's not anywhere done at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, this be the totem stick of the Grand Moto. He be a very important person. He bring fire to the forest. Me sell this at a very cheap thing of 2 gold.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh, 14.
She's going to look the stick over and say, Firebringer, you say? I'll give you 8 silver for it.
Nyoka kind of clucks like he's thinking it over, and he go, okay.
All right. She's going to lay it gently on the table, and then she's going to lift one of the wheelbarrows up and pull a small chest out. She counts out 8 silver coins and then hands them to you. Says, a stick of the Firebringer, you say?
Of the great Moto, the fire-bringing warrior in the swamps of the lowlands.
His story shall be told and lived on in this ceremonial branch.
When she brings out the money, Brandon, how much actually is in there?
How much is in there? Let's... It took her a second to find... Oh, hey, no, Cortana, don't do that. It took her a second to find these, 8 silver pieces.
Okay, never mind that.
Yeah, it was digging through copper. You saw a couple gold coins, but it was not a common thing. All right, you guys are moving on.
Which stick did you just give her?
The stick Anasiah,
Mm-hmm.
the great Moto fire warrior from the Lowlegs. By the way, you now have a title, Anasiah.
Apparently.
and it's the stick basically Anasiah gave me. That Nyoka was carving
best
on.
attempt. Best
All
attempt to make something straight.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you guys 2 more things you see, and then otherwise I'm just going to handle this as a percentage die. Yeah, and I'm just telling you guys the first things you see walking down this row. So this lady's stall, I told you, was set up in front of a shop. The shop is definitely drawing your guys' attention, as it seems to be selling different spices and powders inside. And there is probably just a completely baffling aroma drifting out of this place that contrasts against the shoulder-to-shoulder crowd you're walking through.
Oh, do I smell?
Yes, this place is very fragrant.
But is there something I can narrow down that it smells really good?
I will say what's your passive perception? 12? For Nyoka, or 11?
Mine's 15.
11 is my passive for Nyoka.
Yeah, I'll say Nyoka's not going to be able to narrow down anything. Bram would smell definitely incense, different prayer incense, maybe lavender and sage too. And then you're also going to smell iron.
Nyoka's going to ask about the smell. What smells good?
I tell him all of that stuff. And then I say, I also smell iron. And is it a lot of iron? Little iron?
It's probably from the metal, though.
Or it could be from blood.
Yeah. It's.
I'm okay
I would
with that,
say
too.
it would be like a hint of iron on this aroma. But
so
you
it
wouldn't
would
be
be-
able to. Yeah, tell.
Want to check it out?
Nyoka's gonna try and go to the incense, and he's going to ask how much for the incense.
And this is inside of a shop. These smells are coming out of like the shutters of the windows.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm gonna follow.
Okay.
Nyoka's gonna ask Brahm, "Can you lead me to that where that smell is?"
Sure. Let's go. And we go into the shop.
All right. As you step in here, there is a human. They are large. They are rather muscular. You're not sure if it's a woman or a man you're looking at. But whoever they are standing above a younger boy, and the boy has a mortar and pestle in his hand. The larger person standing over them and gesturing with their hands like a grinding motion, and the boys holding the mortar, trying to do the same. There are several security guards in here. They have rapiers at their side. However, it looks like some are sitting in it looks like one is sitting in a windowsill watching the crowds pass. Another one is leaned against the door as you walk in. There are different shelves along the wall, different barrels of stuff, and at various points in here where you see where you'd expect torch sconces, instead there's dishes with something burning on top of it, and small trails of haze and smoke drifting off of it and down to the floor. As far as other people in here, I'll roll you a d6. 6! There are going to be 6 people roaming about in here, looking inside of these barrels at the different powders and stuff in them. The person's going to look back at you guys as you've stepped in, and they're going to say, "Oh, we got the visitors coming in! This is very good!" And it says, "Kiddies, go and keep grinding." They're going to tromp towards you, and hands out and say, I wasn't expecting any more. Not merchants. And you are?
Nyoka looks at him and goes, "Nyoka."
Samokin.
And he's going to then look over and say, "What smelled good?"
Samokin's going to think and say, cinnamon? Sage? Lavender? Bits of shavings of metals, or grindings of your choice mixed together. Prayer candles with fragrance. This is of your interest?
Nyoka just kind of looks at him and go, "Well, I only interested in smell."
They're going to
Can Nyoka tell?
and grab Nyoka's arm as they begin leading you to one of these barrels. If you don't want to be grabbed and dragged, you can give me a contested athletics check.
As I see all these people,
When they do that,
Hold on one
they-
second, Shelby. What did you say Bram was doing?
as soon as I see all these guys with rapiers, I put my hand on my waist, kind of like cross my arms, cover the immovable rod.
Okay.
But I stay right next to Nyoka.
Okay. And Shelby, what's Nyoka doing?
Nyoka, if he's going to get all handsy with me, Nyoka will get handsy back with him.
Okay.
is there anything easily that he could steal?
On Nyoka or like from this place?
Both.
So a lot of their wares,
I actually mean the person that's being handsy with me. I'm assuming it's the merchant.
Yeah. The merchant would have several just different pouches at their waist tied to their belt. And you see a lot of people in the shop have like one of these pouches, and they're going around to the barrels and, you know, picking pinches of it up and putting it into these pouches. And otherwise, as far as like what Nyoka can steal from the shop, like a lot of the stuff is stored, you know, either in jars on shelves or, you know, open barrels.
I specifically actually mean on the merchant himself.
Yeah, I'm gonna say pouches.
No, Nyoka isn't gonna steal a pouch. He's gonna be like, me like you, but not that much, and he's going to kind of resist a little bit. You said contested athletics?
Yeah. And Nyoka is going to definitely win that athletics check and pull his hand, you know, away from Smokin'. And they're going to go, oh, no, it's like near the barrel they were moving you to, and opens it and says, it's a Sunji. You see a reddish gray powder in here. The barrel is about half full. The second they pull the lid off of this thing, a burning sensation fills your nose. It's got what would be like a similar, almost like cayenne powder or some type of like pepper powder. Of like, ooh, it smells good. Oh, that hurts my nose.
Nyoka loves it. How much for a little pinch of it?
They'll stick their fingers in and grab a pinch, rub it through their fingers, and let it fall back into the barrel, and say, ooh, one pinch, two silver pieces.
Nyoka, and he's like, and for the pouch with it?
I didn't factor in the pouch. I'm going to say the pouch is included. You know, it's just a little tightly woven burlap sack. Wouldn't cost more than a copper.
Then, yeah, Nyoka is going to do that.
All right. They'll pull off a an empty pouch, put a pinch of, and it's worth noting, if Nyoka does this, it's a pinch. But when this person's hand goes into the barrel and it comes out, it's more like about a third of a handful of this stuff. Put into the bag. And they will walk up to the counter and point behind and says, would you like any metal powder in it? It gives the best fragrance when burned.
Nyoka's like, no, thank you.
All right, they'll just hand you your purchase then. Otherwise, does Smokin' have anything else to give or impart to you? No, not really. I think they will ask again and say, you don't wear any amulet of the merchants of... And that's the other thing that's worth saying. Pretty much once you guys got into the high docks, everybody has a ruby amulet on. Of like, it's pretty rare to see somebody like without one. And they're going to say, you don't have an amulet. Oh, what guild or faction do you trade with?
Nyoka looks at him and go, I hear from the blue lady.
Yeah, they've got no idea, and they're gonna just like respond, oh, well, the clutch is very, very scary without friends. As long as you have those, you're in good company.
Now seeing that he's made that a point, what is everybody else in the room doing?
As far as like Nyoka's comment, or just
No, all of these other people that are in the room with rapiers.
Mhm.
Now that he pointed us out that we don't have the ruby.
Oh, as far as these other people are concerned, there's one keeping watch just on who's going in and out of these barrels. The other one seems a little like phased out. They're not, paying you terribly much attention. It's uncommon for somebody, to not be a part of the Ruby Alliance, but it's not unheard of.
Right.
Pretty much the assumption is if you're not with the Ruby Alliance, you're with some other guild or faction. And if you're just on your own, somebody's going to take advantage of you. And that's character knowledge of Bram would know that from living in this region. It's like,
Which is why Nyoka did not say for himself. He said he was with the blue lady.
yeah. And you guys, the faction you're with is with, the scholars of Coven. So.
Mm-hmm.
But
most
Nyoka
people know
didn't
not
want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm following Nyoka's lead on that one. I'm just making sure that nobody's gonna try anything funny.
All right. The goal was to make a little bit of money for the party. You guys have made 6 silver so far.
Right, so Nyoka says, since you be so friendly, Nyoka needs some information. Nyoka looking for bags of holding. Where can Nyoka find that so he can talk money with the merchant? Nyoka have very important boss, and she be very unhappy if Nyoka no deliver.
They're going to think for a moment.
When he says that, he does the motion across his neck like he would get killed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, not Nyoka. They're going to think for a moment and say, a bag of holding. Those are often used by adventurers. Oh, best be seeing former adventurers on that one. And they're going to think for a moment and then say, the Magister of Yanyeth. He's traveled this region up and down. I suppose he'd likely have several still in his possession.
So they basically said go to the main guy of the city? Is that what they're saying?
No. Magisters would be like city councilors.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they said. They told you the Magister of Yanyith is a former adventurer.
Naoka listens to this and be like, so no person in the city sell magic items?
Samokin's going to shake their head and say, "Oh, plenty sell. Just what I know is of the politicians that I communicate with, that I talk to."
Naoka say, I see. Thank you. And he just kind of traipses out.
All right. What's Bram do?
Bram follows him. Like immediately, and still on the immovable rod.
Okay. All right.
Out of earshot, Naoka go, he no help.
Didn't sound like it.
Is there any shop that looks like it's an adventurer shop?
Shop that looks like an adventurer shop on this part of town. You're going to definitely see a place that sells leather. Definitely a place that is a tailor's place, and you're, because right now you're kind of in the heart of the city, which you're in about right here. I would say on this row, probably not.
Okay. We'll stop into those shops just to make sure. Right? Like we'll do a cursory look and see if any type of bag of holding.
Okay.
I'm assuming there's a bunch of bags, but none of them aren't bags of holding.
You'll come across one on probably your third suite of just like, oh, I'm looking for a bag of holding, you know, walking by and looking in places. You find a halfling selling I don't know what the name of the event would be, but selling very fancy gloves, and they have a personal bag of holding. They are willing to sell to you, but and just, you know, to give you the price for it, it's going to be 1,700 gold that they're willing to part with it for.
Okay, so we did find a place. All right.
Yes.
And you said it's 1,700?
Yes.
The proprietor is a halfling?
Yes.
What kind of security?
Inside of this place, there are a couple people here. You don't see anybody who looks like a security guard.
Okay. What Naoka asks Brahm to pull out the what you call it, the
Movable rod.
And he asks how much if he could actually get a bag of holding and do a trade, basically.
Okay.
And remember, this immovable rod looks twice as expensive as a normal immovable rod. Like, it looks like it's like the cat's meow. It's shiny. There's no scratches. It's perfect. It's in mint condition.
All right. You are forcing me to do math. So just give me 1 second while I do that. All right. They are going to inspect the immovable rod. And after taking a moment to inspect it, I need to see how this person feels about bartering. They're going to inspect the immovable rod very closely for a second before finally leaning back and say, it does seem like you have quite the item on you. I'd be willing to trade the rod for the bag and say 50 gold.
Rob reaches into his pouch, pulls out 9 silver. If I can help.
Nyoka thinks about that and goes, 25 gold.
She's gonna like thin her teeth and say, you see, I'm just a little old halfling, and I've gotta be able to lift and move all of my wares. They come in such heavy crates, and this bag helps out with that. I just don't think I could go lower than 40 gold. Now, you boys look like you're a little short on funds. If you want, I normally shy on the practice, but I could take it on credit, and you can work for one of the debtors in the city. $40 gold shouldn't take you more than a week to work off between the two of you.
Nyoka puts down 40 gold and says, deal. And he takes the bag of holding.
She doesn't give it to you just yet. She takes it to a corner and starts taking things out of it. And it is almost like a clown car of just, crate after crate after crate of thing coming out of this bag.
Is she watching me intently, or is she...
Oh, no, she's just, like, emptying it out before she gives it to you.
Nyoka is going to try and steal something.
Okay, there are other people in here other than you.
Oh, okay. See, that's why I asked about security.
Yeah, I said there are other people. There's nobody that looks like a security guard. As far as like the people, you see like a couple shopping, what looks to be an entertainer, a group of young ruffians. Likely they're, her daughter or an apprentice. There's a cat. probably sitting on a counter. But anyways, after a few moments, she comes back, trades the bag for the 40 gold and the rod.
Okay.
All right. After that, I don't know if you guys could afford anything else inside of her shop. But otherwise, you can look for gloves. What do you guys want to do?
We're gonna look for another bag of holding. Hold on, I have to do some.
Okay. I'm just gonna roll you guys a percentage die and shift to somebody else in the group.
Yeah, go to switch while I do maintenance on that. And
are you cool with that, Havoc?
Yeah, I'm just security.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Before I jump over to Lex, Inaziah and Kayeth. Kayeth is going to go back to the inn to start brewing potions. What does Inaziah want to do?
I presume that I'd go and help him, especially seeing how I have the final component needed to make enemy.
Kayeth is going to tell you, you have done fantastic, absolutely fantastic, exceeding all marks and merits. We are in such a lovely city. You should go and investigate more about that Magister and bring any information you find back to the inn. I don't think I'd need any help on this front.
Okay, I'll go investigate the Magister. Be like, all right, if you think you can handle it on your own.
All right. Kayeth is going to nod and say, meet back at the inn an hour before sunset, and I will see you there.
Okay.
All right. Kayeth heads off down the road. Where do you start your investigation on the Magister?
Oh, I have no idea. Where exactly am I currently? We're in the higher end district.
Yeah, you are in an area called Yanyeth by the outer city gate. You went to that merchant to buy alchemical supplies, and then from there, you guys didn't really have a direction.
I guess I'll look around for someone who seems to be an official or a part of the city, maybe a guard.
Okay.
And ask them where I could go and seek an audience with the magistrate.
Okay. Just asking around of the guard is going to, rather this person's gonna tell you, damn, do I look like some leatherneck servant? Head on over to Eodothia. That's where all the masters do their business out of. He points towards the giant pyramid rising out of the bay.
Okay. So, he told me to go check over there. I'll start making my way down towards the giant pyramid.
All right. Make my way to Eodothia, walking fast, faces pass, and I'm homebound. Okay. All right. I'm going to jump over to Lex.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Lex is dead. Did you bring a new character?
Hi. I wish. I had a busy couple weeks.
All right. Lex. Somebody is slapping your face.
Ow.
And you are drenched. You are in a dark room. There is a candle lit in front of you. Occasionally you see the cracks of light peeking in through like the doorway or through the doorway or the planks of wood of this building. You're in some type of storage room. As your vision comes to and the blurriness stops, there's a woman in front of you. You vaguely recognize with like white hair, and she's slapping your face again and saying, "I'm going to ask you one more time. How did you know what was on our shipment?"
What was on your Lex themselves. Lex doesn't know.
Roll me
So Lex is just
a deception check. No, I'm kidding. I'm not.
No, Lex actually never got to open the bag. So Lex is just gonna like very confused, will be like, "What? What was on the what was in the bag?"
Oh, you're playing dumb just like your friends. And she's going to point over in the room. Next to you on the chair, there is a person you barely even recognize. They've got a large blue whelp over their eye, and they're covered in dry blood. They are unconscious. The person...
What's their name?
That was the thug. That was one of the thugs that you didn't know who,
Oh.
Yeah, you just barely recognized their form. It was one of the thugs that dragged you down here. Next to you on the other side of you, the person's face is mutilated to the point of you don't recognize them, but you can pretty much assume it's the other thug. Does not look like they're still alive.
Whoa. Okay.
And she's going to say, "I got tired of their games, but they were resilient buggers. Now, it's been a while since you've been out, but I'm not in the mood to play games. And as soon as my first mate comes back in here, we'll get right back down to business. You can bet your pretty little face on that."
Actually, I have a question. Is my mask still on, or did they take it off?
Ooh, they would have taken off your mask.
Okay. Because that's important. Because Lex wears that mask a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's... Lex is gonna just kind of repeat themselves. They're gonna be like, "I wasn't told what was in the bag. I didn't ask him."
Go ahead.
Vrolicus. He might know. He wanted it. Hold it up.
She's going to hiss and say, "Leakus?"
The one and only.
That, damn merchant from the high docks?
Is that what you call him now? Yeah, him.
She's going to hold a dagger to Lex's neck. And she's we're not gonna go with that. We're gonna go with this. And she's going to say, "There's a code in Beachwood and Seatown that the high docks and the low docks don't interfere with each other. He is just you and him have just crossed a dangerous line."
Gee, thanks. I didn't know. Look, I don't know what was in the bag. I was hired, okay? You gotta ask him before he dies.
Lex, shut your damn mouth! The thug next to you begins to cough himself awake. The woman is going to take the candle and hold it under his chin. He raises his head and goes, trying to get away from the heat. She says, shush, 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 shush. Nothing from you right now. And she turns her attention back towards Lex. Go on, you were saying about this Verlicus.
So I was hired, and he wants whatever's in there. I know it's not gold, because we wouldn't steal from y'all if it's gold. Steal from somebody else. I don't know. He just wanted it, I guess. I was probably gonna not take it to him anyways. I don't like him at all. Didn't know it was for him.
So
But,
you were
you know.
going to steal from the... You were stealing from the thief who was stealing from thieves.
Yeah. However you want to look at it.
We have a mantra in the Iron Wind. It's that something can only be stolen once. And once stolen, it's yours. After that...
Guess it's mine then.
and she's going to narrow her eyes and say, "We stole it first."
I stole it third? Lex is very much brain damaged at the moment.
She's going to remove the candle from your friend and say, I only need one of you to send a message. And whichever one of you will be, and one of you will be the message. One to carry and one to be sent.
Verlicus doesn't know I'm here. Verlicus knows that that guy is here. And Verlicus doesn't like me at all. So I don't even know what he'd think if I were to show up dead at his doorstep. Probably laugh about it.
Your burned companion is going to say, "Cut off her head. If you send it to Verlicus, it'll be a good way to patch this up. Even build a friendship." She's going to look over to you and say, "Do you have any more of a convincing argument?"
I stole from him before. Don't know. Lex has no idea what they're doing at the moment.
You can give me an insight check.
Okay. Just gotta find the instant check.
I'm going to roll at each tier of 5 points of this check. You're going to gain additional information.
Sorry, I'm on my cell.
Okay, would you like me to roll it for you?
I think I did it, but I don't know if I did it.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
It's coming
Ah,
through. 17.
okay.
All right.
Yay!
They are... Whatever this was that was stolen, that was on their ship, it was a very small and precise job these two guys did. Like, they came over here for an exact purpose as these people were like coming into the docks, you know, on their boat, a very specific bag, and, you know, we're like going away with it. So whatever it is something of some value. And that you're just aware of. Moving up from there, you know, these pirates are very unhappy with you about this. Although you're not the person who is to completely blame for this situation. That person has overstepped a line, and they want to send a message to that person, which means sending him back one of his employees' heads to him. Yeah. They don't know where he is. So one of you, of the two living employees, is going to carry the other's head back to them.
Haha.
And so far, the other guy said cut off her head, or cut off Lex's head.
Lex, okay, so the other guy is very determined not to die. Lex is just there. Lex doesn't, okay, Lex hates reliquates, but like, how much, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Would they rather hate him and die, or hate him and not die?
The door is going to open in this room. Almost, well, not a blinding light. Definitely your eyes readjusting as the outside of this tavern is getting, or rather the next room of this tavern is getting daylight and torchlight. A woman with long black hair, pale skin, and blue eyes steps in. She has a short sword and a dagger. And she's going to say, all right, it's all clean. Who am I cutting up next?
Is this Murder Bride?
Is that what Lex asks?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
They're at 1 hit point, so they're not very aware of anything right now.
No. The woman's going to say, my name is Siski, and this is Yurio. She's my first mate. And I don't know. Decision time's come. And Siski is going to look at Lex and say, any final words?
Oh, I don't want to make a new character. Lex is gonna look over to the other guy and she's gonna be like, he was the actual employee. Yeah. That's it.
And she's going to nod and say, I hoped your parting words with your friend would be something of reassurance to send him to the bridge. She gestures to Yurio. Yurio's going to smile and then step over to your companion and cut off his head.
Yay.
She's going to look at you and say, I want nothing to happen in this port that makes your employer happy. I want you to go to him crying and carrying this head and that one. And I want you to tell him that his entire fleet will be ravaged by the Ironwind pirates. If it's the last thing that I, Sissy, and Princess Baldari do, can you carry that message?
Alrighty, might as well. Do you have a bag to put his head in, or
Urio's going to put it on your lap.
You cut out. Put it on what?
Urio puts the head on your lap.
it's not even a bag or anything?
You're the type of Lex is the type of person who lives and then gives the murderer a 3-star Yelp review of just like no bag. 0 out of 10 won't come again.
Lex has brain damage. Give her a break. They're like, again, they're at 1 hit point, so their like mental capacity is like, no offense, Naoka, but it's like the lizard man intelligence at the moment.
Nyoka's the smartest member of the party, and
I know.
Fine. All right.
Okay, could you repeat the name of the pirates?
Sisk Yi?
No, sorry, it's Iron
Iron
Pirates.
Iron Wind Pirates. You can roll a history check on the name. If you
I don't need to,
okay.
I needed to put it down in my notes. Okay. Lex is gonna like try to get up with the head and like immediately stumble down and sit down again.
Okay.
So oh. Ugh. So, might not be a good time to mention this, but I'm like bleeding out and dying, and I might not make it to Rollicus, you know. Is there anything that I could take or to like stop bleeding? Please. Lex is like out of it.
I'm
trying to like.
Alright, so you're gonna say, is there anything I can take to stop bleeding? Sixty is going to say, yes, I have just the thing. Let me get it out of my bag. She pulls a satchel from over her shoulder, sticks her hand in, and then backhands you across the face.
How?
I am going to rule since you're restrained, she has advantage on this check.
Dude, I'm gonna die.
And
I'm gonna die from a backhand.
Yeah, she rolls an 11. I don't think that touches your AC. Like,
oh my god!
I'm gonna say Lex is
not.
just able to like jump back as like this wind shoots past her face. The Eladrin in front of you is going to start chuckling and say, "Quick one! If only it'd been quicker earlier."
Look,
she's going to start tossing up the bag in her hand. The one that was shoved into your pocket earlier.
So, what was in the bag in the first place?
She's going to smile and say, "When did you like to know?" Oh, she shrugs and says, "Your employer, I guess, already has that information. Magic rocks. Ones will fetch a hefty price here in Beachwood."
Are you guys selling opals?
She's going to catch the bag in her hands, and her her eyes are going to narrow, and she's going to say, "There are two things I hate in this world more than my ex-husband.
You had a husband?
And that is..."
Lex is not gonna say that.
And that is a school of jellyfish and people lying to me. You said you didn't know what was in this bag.
But you said magic rocks. Opals are magic rocks.
And
How
she's
am I not
going to say,
supposed to know?
in what nation, what part of the world? There's no opal stone with any, or there's no opal magical rock in any other part of the world. This is new. Researched and discovered and made on our own shores.
Uh-oh. Lex knows things they shouldn't. Uh-oh. Actually, do people know?
Go ahead.
Do the pirates know who Lex is?
No, they do not.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay.
Presumably,
that's good and bad.
Yeah, presumably all of Lex's crimes were on land. The complete opposite of where pirates commit their crimes. And this would just be background information for the setting. Lex would know from living here.
Yeah.
And I told you this, the other session, but, it's 2 weeks ago. The pirates kind of have this area of Seatown that everybody just lets them have. And there's just an agreement, kind of an unspoken agreement of like, we don't mess with you and get involved in your affairs. You don't mess with us and get involved with our affairs.
That makes me very happy. That's very good.
Yeah. So it's kind of one for Verlikas to send people down here to, steal from the pirates is like, like kicking the bee's nest or the lion's nest or the lion's den, something of that effect. Then, also too, it's just very, very unorthodox to the culture of this city.
Yeah.
And I feel like, Bloody Head still in your lap. She's, going to say, well, now
it's still like dripping.
Yeah, she's going to say, now I'm regretting my decision. I'm going to give you 1 minute to tell me how you know what's inside of this bag. Ooh, and look at that. Time is already passing. Yurio is going to start clanking her dagger against her short sword.
Okay, I'm going to need a quick history check for my brain. But where were we last time that we figured out that they were mining opals?
You were in a... I'm not going to make you roll a history check for this. You were in a town called Kytelis Falls.
Okay. So I'm going to say... I know people from Kytelis Falls. They tell us things. Even all the way down here in Seatown. They said that they found opals back there.
How do you know that they have magical properties?
Well, they're wizards. They know that it helps with magic. I didn't know that it's magical itself. Terror.
Yurio is going to stop clinking her dagger against the short sword and just slide the dagger up the short sword so hard it's causing sparks. And she's going to say, she's lying, boss. Ain't never heard of no wizards down in Kytelis.
He's in the bog.
Yeah.
He works with the Silver Sigil.
Siski is going to say, I have heard strange whispers on the winds about those woods. Scholars.
Lex is gonna stumble and get up very slowly.
Oh,
with the head in their hands.
Okay. Well, as you get up, you realize your hands are tied together behind the chair. Your legs are also tied to the chair you're on. You try and you're kind of just pushed back down by the bindings. You can try and escape the bindings, but
I don't want to die. I'm at 1 hit point.
At that point, though, Siski is going to say, And so you just stumbled into this information. Just how you stumbled into this job.
They tried to rob me and I wanted money. They gave me a gold. Also, like, these are the bindings, they're like really, really tight. Could you like get me out, please? What fuss?
Sixty is going to step forward, taking the dagger. Taking the dagger from Yorio's hand. And she is going to say, "Sure," with great speed. She tears the
I'm gonna get my hands chopped off.
She tears the shoulder of your shirt and digs the dagger into it and begins carving something. The pain is instantly going to put you under 1 HP as you pass out.
Oh, dude, is she gonna like cut my hands off?
All right.
Oh no. No.
You're we'll come back to Lex.
Oh God!
All right, Azure, you got your deal to buy horses. You have no money to buy horses. You're on the outskirts of town. What are you doing and where are you going?
What was the amount that was asked for the horses again?
I think you got a 15% discount off of 75 gold. Alexa, what's 85% of 75?
85% of 75 is 63.75.
63 gold a horse.
Okay. I will be going to the highest end district I can find, sprucing myself up, using my disguise kit if need be to look more presentable and like the local populace, and basically go looking for some people to entertain for a higher price.
Okay. All right. You're going to be able to. You're definitely gonna be able to find that at Eodothia, that temple out in the bay.
Okay.
And I say that as probably like the best place you can find this type of work at.
Makes sense.
And would you like that as an option, or would you like me to like list more things of what you can do in
That's
town?
good.
Okay.
I'll do that. Yeah, and I have the entertainer background, so.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna let you do this. Roll me a D100.
Okay. What should I roll or do?
You can type /R space D100. Okay. All right. You are walking back into town. You're going to be taking the coastal road through the northwestern gate, leading you through Seatown. You're going to come across. You're going to come across a mangled, disheveled beggar, with and it is just like thrown in a pile of refuse, and doesn't look like they're conscious as you're walking by. until like after a second, just like noticing this person, you're just like, man, if they were cleaner, they'd look like Lex.
Really?
Yeah, if you come up to
Yeah, I'll check them out.
inspect them,
Oh no.
turning them over, it's definitely Lex. They are not.
Okay.
They are not conscious.
All right.
They
I'll lay
are-
on
Am I dead?
hands. I'll lay on hands and pump her full of my I think 10 points I can spend.
Yeah, they definitely have wounds that have been like either cauterized with flames or so. Lex's clothes are torn, and they do have a scar on their shoulder, the emblem of the Ironwind Pirates. Dug in. I will say your healing is able to close the wounds, but the way the flesh mends back together, the scar is still there. It's going to have to be treated to be removed, or lesser restoration.
Is Lex conscient now?
Yes.
So she-
The first bit of healing, like
Right.
pouring into Lex. For a second time, Lex is waking up. You are on a pile of debris, and above you, you see Azure with holy energy pumping through his hand. Lex,
Lex is going to curse very loudly in our letras.
you as you like start moving, you feel your legs are weighted down. There are 2 ropes tied around your legs, and just moving them out of this pile, 2 heads pull free.
Ow.
They are the heads of your companions. As you remember, I've got a message to send.
Oh god.
You're a messenger?
No,
Oh,
she
wait,
doesn't
you
say
didn't
that.
Now
I'm
Didn't
just
say that
saying
out loud,
Lex,
okay.
yeah, Lex remembers that. You know what? Would the pirates have put a letter on your person?
Probably, since she's already
Yeah.
dead,
Mm.
as far as they knew.
I mean, they don't care if you get, some type of rot limb or disease or something. All you got to do is make it to the high docks and tell Relicus what's going on. Yeah, I rolled them an intelligence check. I'm pretty sure you got the message. No additional letter needed.
Okay. I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna be like, do y'all have a bag? I need a bag. I don't want to be carrying blood.
You want to know if I have a bag? Look
Mhm.
around you. I mean, there's a lot of refuse right here. There might be some bags.
But like, I don't want to walk. No, like waterproof, like blood-proof.
Why do you have heads tied to you? What's going on?
Look, I'll explain later, I promise. I don't want to get any more blood on me. Please. I would like a blood-proof rag, please.
So out of character, I can use like a cantrip to like cleanse her and the heads of all blood, right? Something like that.
If you have prestidigitation can clean an item.
I don't know if paladins get cantrips. I haven't really
Paladins
found
do
this.
not. Aren't you 2 levels paladin, 1 level bard?
No, not yet. I'm 3
Oh,
levels
okay.
paladin.
Yeah, you would not have prestidigitation then.
Okay.
Lex looks kind of green because they're just like they acted okay, but that was because they were loopy. They're very much scared right now.
All right. They still look pretty hurt, right? Not completely healed with only 10 points given.
Yeah.
No, I'm only
Yeah, you can give that information, Annie.
I'm not too bad. I got 11 hit points now, so that's good. I'm not too bad, so you don't have to heal me right now. God, that was a very bad decision, and I'm not happy.
Looks like it was very bad. Yes, you almost died. You're lucky I came
Yeah.
by.
I know. It felt like I was gonna die.
Alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and do a Cure Light Wounds on them.
Okay. All right. So, where do Azure and Lex head?
I'd like to go back to the hotel and like sleep.
And I'll do Restoration. I get that for free, I think.
Okay.
Alex is gonna very offhandedly say, like, I'm tired. I was just like tortured. I don't want to stay awake anymore. You know, I want to
Well-
sleep on like an actual bed.
Yeah, he'll kind of happy listening to you, and then otherwise be doing something else that focused on.
All right. Does Azure accompany Lex back to the Hungry Harrier, or does he go about his business?
Well, if I can do lesser restoration on her, she won't even feel tired anymore. Right?
No. Lesser restoration does not get rid of PTSD.
Hi, trauma.
I did have a player argue before that PTSD and depression are mental diseases, and lesser restoration cures one disease, but I will rule it doesn't get rid of mental or emotional sickness.
Yeah, Lex is like trying not to give in to the trauma, but they're like, this is really similar to things that have happened before, and they don't like it.
Okay, we can go take you back for a nap then. I'll accompany you to make sure you don't get any more heads tied to you along the way.
Thank you.
All right. Heading back to the inn. Azure.
So we're dragging two heads behind her on ropes? I mean...
No, I'm assuming you guys look for a bag through the pile.
Yeah, I
rolled
think
you a
in the
check.
pile we'll wrap
you were-
them up.
You're able to find a leather, like a ruined leather satchel that could hold one of the heads. You only have to
Okay.
bring back one. You don't have to bring back two. You can be an overachiever, and it would make Kayeth proud. But yeah, you find a satchel you can stick one of the heads in. You can leave the super loaded one behind. What's up?
And do I have my bag and stuff? Oh my god, I just remembered. I don't have my mask, and I don't have
They would have thrown your
Nayoka's
bag.
flute.
They would have
Nayoka's
thrown
flute.
your
Do I
bag
still
and
have
stuff like in this pile. I'd say you'd be
Do I
able
still
to
have
find
the
it.
flute?
Yeah, I would say
Oh.
you'd be able to find it in here. They don't want
Okay.
your stuff.
Lex is very, very happy when they see the flute.
Mhm.
Like,
They
like,
got 19 hit points from me, by the way. Or
Oh
20
my God.
total. So you're probably up 19 positive, hopefully? I'm not sure.
I have a max of 15.
Great, so you're good now. With that,
Yay!
All right.
why did I have the idea that the restoration was like part of my class or something? Or like I could do it for free?
You can spend 5 points of lay on hands, and it cures a disease. But that is spending the lay on hands specifically to cure a disease and not giving them the health.
Mhm.
So you healed them with all of the HP, but you can choose to sacrifice rather than healing somebody. You expend 5 points, and the effect that they get is being cured of a disease. Otherwise,
I'll keep looking into it.
yeah. Otherwise, you guys are able to make it back to the inn.
Oh no. Is Kayeth in the inn?
Is Kayeth in the inn?
Oh my god.
That's a good question. Let's see. We'll go with.
He was on his way
It's
back.
quite the contrast too, because my character's probably like gleaming, ready to perform, and she's like this bloody mess.
They've got blood like
carrying a
all
bundle.
over. They're probably like dripping blood out of their mouths, even though they're like healed. Like they still have like
Carrying
dirt all
two
over
bags that are
them.
dripping blood as well.
I
And
mean,
they're kind of like swaying on their feet, which
They-
is definitely not good.
they might have, they might have got rubbed off with some rags or something we found in the pile, I suppose.
All right. So as you get back to the inn, you are going to find Kayeth. He is going to be in the downstairs, I guess, hearth room of this place, and he's sorting out herbs and different alchemical ingredients on the table.
Before attempting to allow Lex to try to go inside, I'll have them stand outside for a minute, and I'll go get him.
You're gonna go get Kayeth?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I'm in so much trouble.
Again, you're gonna see Kayeth there. He's counting coins and the herbs.
So yeah, I'll approach him and say quietly, Kayeth, some little cleaning up to do outside. Your attention is required for a moment.
He's going to stand up and say, very well then, and it is the work of an agent to ensure the lore keepers are well maintained. He's going to bundle up the herbs, tying them together, and then put the golden herbs in his sack, or satchel. And,
Lex is in so much trouble. Oh my god.
He's gonna follow you outside.
And he will present Lex.
Hello.
Look what I found.
Kayeth is just gonna say, by the hierarchy, what happened to you?
Oh. Lex is like kind of shaking. I'll tell you later, but I would like to not have blood on my hands anymore, please.
Are you carrying one of the heads?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, Kayeth is gonna look at the head and say, whose head is that? Did you kill them? Why? What? Oh.
Kayeth. Blood, please.
Kayeth is going to nod and say, very well, come inside. Well done living, I suppose, and I will need a whole detailed report of this interaction. And he's going to bring you inside. I think if Kayeth has like a traveler's cloak or something, he's just gonna like throw it over Lex and say, is it necessary to carry around the head with you? Which way? I think Kayeth can speak telepathically. He's going to say that telepathically.
Lex is gonna respond verbally. They're gonna be like, there wasn't a bag. I had to.
All right. He takes you upstairs to your room and says, I'll have the tavern keep bring up a bath immediately.
Lex nods. They kind of have their hands over like their face, just kind of out of habit because they don't have their mask on.
Yeah, my character would have gotten a look at their face.
All right. Like a few moments later, the tavern keep is going to come up to this floor and drag a wooden tub out of the closet into Lex's room, and she'll say, I'll have 3 buckets of hot water up here in a few moments. It's on the stove now. Goes back downstairs. Kaya talking to Azure outside the room. He's going to look at Kaya and send a message telepathically and say, "What happened?"
Oh, they ask?
No, it
Well,
sends it
they're
to Azure.
asking me.
Uh,
I found them laying on a pile of rubbish in a state of near death, with 2 heads tied to their legs. That's all I really know. They're very out of sorts, and definitely know they made a mistake, but that's about all I've gotten so far. And they had to keep a head or 2 with them, so we wrapped one up.
Kayeth is going to say, "When they're clean, we're having a meeting."
Mhm.
Oh, that's great. How to solve everything. Hashtag team meeting.
Can it wait? I should go do some work if we're gonna get the
Kayeth
horses
is,
that I found for a discount.
Kayeth's going to shake his head and say,
No.
The money for the horses is taken care of. As an agent, I properly secured the funding. But I think we need a new procedure that we will abide by whenever one of us decides to take on a task. I think
Perhaps a buddy system at a minimum, yes.
He's going to say, I think a proper mission requisition form would be in order. And an invoice of services rendered. I'll draw up a couple forms, but please, until we have them in place.
Can we make a slip of guidelines while we're at it? I mean, seems to be an awful lot of unnecessary violence at times.
I think a set of rules and bylaws to govern our proceedings would be quite efficient. Good suggestion, Azure. Good suggestion. And
also potential punishments and, things to
he's
reflect
gonna
upon.
wag his finger and say, nope. We want to reward and incentivize good work and encourage it, not make them fearful of repercussions. At least not yet. He's saying all of this mentally.
All in its due time.
All right. Kayeth is going to get to work on drawing up several mission or statement of work forms and services rendered invoices. Let's jump over to Nyoka and Bram. You guys were looking for another bag of holding. Just on Fozzie Row, you are not going to have any luck.
Okay. Where is there other rows that are merchant rows that? Because Kaya says we need 3 bags of holding.
All right. Yeah, I mean, if you guys just go around the town looking, you are going to you're actually going to find a merchant heading to Eodothia, going to Warmreach Bazaar. They have several just very common uncommon adventurers items on their cart as they're going by. You notice them, and they are just heading down the road. Occasionally people are parting so they can ride by.
Okay. So I'm going to interrupt them. And you say they're riding by, and I see
the
bag.
It's a driver on the carriage, a couple people in the back of the carriage, and it just as you like look at him, it's like, hey, what are you doing? And it's like, I'm selling my wares in Eodothia, like, you know, just like as they're going down the road.
Nyoka says, me interested in your bags.
He's going to turn and say, you got 3,000 ruby pieces?
No, but me have very powerful superiors who can give you that money and more.
He's going to say, and who might those be?
You ever heard of the Silver Sigil?
The silver who now?
The Silver Sigil.
And it's worth saying this conversation's happening, you know, on a market road. He's gonna say, what type of guild is that?
It be larger than a guild. It's an organization.
I lean into the merchant. I whisper in his ear as gruffly as possible. I say, it's the one that doesn't kill you.
You're not going to be able to lean into his ear as he is on top of a cart. And
Isn't he up on the stagecoach?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he got down to
Yeah.
talk to us.
But I mean, you can say that if you want.
No, not if I can't whisper it in his ear.
And he's going to shake his head and say, can't say that I heard of it. No, however, if you boys have a couple thousand gold pieces or ruby pieces, we can be in business. Otherwise, I've got a lot of magisters and entertainers who will be paying good money today for my wares.
Where?
He points to the pyramid in the center of the bay. And it says, Eodothia, I'll be in the Warm Reach Bazaar. Anything that's anything is sold there.
I see. Well, Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
So here are some of the plans Nyoka is thinking right off the tip of his head. He is thinking that can he do a snatch and grab?
Snatching one of these and trying to run with it?
Oh no, snatching both of them if he can and trying to run with it.
So you see it, it's a covered cart, and you just kind of see them dangling, hung off the walls of the back cart as it like goes by. Seeing that, there are, and I'll give you an exact number so you know what you're getting into. There are 3 people sitting on the back of this carriage inside of the covered cart. If you reach in and try and grab this, all of them would get some sort of opportunity attack at you. However, the man is going to, just kind of whip his carriage, and they're going to start heading down the road. It's an option if you want it. I personally would not advise it. Like I told you before too, there are lots of guards around inside of the high docks. They're not
close is the-
necessarily guards, but they are hired mercenaries that run protection over here.
How close is the water?
How close is the water down this row? It is not something that Nyoka can just grab, run, and sprint off and jump off a cliff with. I would say of just pure dash action and then bonus action, dash action, of just Nyoka gunning it as fast as he possibly can. I would say you're 4 rounds from any type of cliff, and that's at the best possible scenario without people, the shoulder to shoulder crowds impeding you or anybody grabbing you.
Do you have a way to make your plans known to Bram without just saying it?
Nah. No, I can't.
Not every quest is completed in one leap. You guys got 1 bag of holding.
Nyoka's an overachiever. What are you talking about? No, Nyoka, it's not good on there. But Nyoka say, okay, me find some superiors and we go visit you. But I can tell you right now, the Morgan Darbahari, the Mudbud, the murder bride, will not be very happy. She might be very, very cross when she find out that Nyoka not get what she wants. And he saunders to Brahm.
All right.
Nyoka looks and see if
the
name-
merchant says something to you as you guys go off in opposite directions. The crowds are going to kind of cause it to be drowned out.
Nyoka yell at the merchant before he actually starts off and say, "You can reach me and my representatives," and I tell him the name of the tavern.
Okay. All right. The
Do I need to
Hungry
make
Harrier.
any intimidation check or?
I am not going to make you make one. If you want to, you can.
That's fine. If you're not gonna make me, I'm
yeah. I feel like mentioning a member of the crown is going to strike fear in any case, but that's why people stay in the high docks. They stay where the money protects them. Amongst all of their hired mercenaries and slave servants and etc., etc., etc. All right, where do you guys head? It's worth noting, it is the late afternoon by this point.
I'm following Nyoka because I don't know where I'm going.
Nyoka is like, well, we found where we can get the bags. They're really expensive, though.
Yeah. I could have got them if you really, really, really wanted them.
And Nyoka looked at him and like, "Are you serious?"
As soon as you say that, boom, my 2 astral arms appear, which have a 10-foot reach. And probably would have negated any attacks of opportunity because I could have grabbed him from the ground and then took the fuck off.
Well, Nyoka would be like, well, do you want to try? We can go
It's a little
and
late. I think
we
it's
can
a
go
little
and
late
find
now.
him. We can go find him up there.
These only last for 10 minutes. I only have 1 or 2 key left. So
Huh.
my running is not as fast as it would be. Or I'm sorry, I only have 1 key.
Okay. We'll go and see if we can find him tomorrow then. Come on, Brum. What do you think? Since we have time, you interested in any shopping?
And once again, I reach into my pocket and I pull out my 9 silver, and I'm like, I might be able to get lunch.
Nyoka said, like, put that away. We go to find some place. Actually, and then Nyoka be like, oh, Nyoka has an idea for funds. Come with me. And Nyoka is going to attempt. Brendan, he is going
I'm
to
listening.
attempt. He is going to attempt to find the bookstore.
Okay.
Does he remember, or does he need to make a history check, a investigation check?
You're gonna remember it was on the south side of town. And I'll give that to you for completely free. If you remember where or what district it's in on the south side of town, I'll, Shelby as the player of Nyoka having
Shelby
it.
don't.
Otherwise,
Shelby don't
it's going to be a history check.
That was so many days ago that.
That was beyond so many days ago. That was an infinite of ages ago. Did you roll that check?
Oh, I didn't. What do you want? What check?
History check.
Yep, that's on par with Nyoka.
Let's see. Yeah, Nyoka, wandering around this area of town, looking for books. It's like, it's a big city. You wander into a residential district, and you get lost. Not necessarily lost, just like, oh, I think it was here. You don't have any footing on it.
Can I try again?
Looking for it, I'd say no, not on the history check. Not for at least, another hour or so. But that's not your only option as far as like finding it. You can ask around.
Oh yeah, Nyoka will ask around.
Okay. Just immediately over here in this district, like asking anybody about books. They're going to say there's a they'll point you to several bookstores just over here of just like, oh, actually you want to go to this place, they've got the best books on like this subject. Or actually, you want to go to this place, they've got good bargains. This place imports from the Maphis University and the Lonagian knowledge. And then finally, like, they're going to mention, like, one bookstore And they're gonna say, it's probably your worst option. You know, most of the people who work there are pretty stingy with their tomes. And, you know, like, I've never gone in there and found anything useful. And then the things that happen, they have been unwilling to part with.
Okay, that's where Nyoka feels like it is.
Alright. You're going to go deeper into the outer gates of Yanya, through this residential district to where this person pointed you, and you are going to what was the name of this area? It was a specific neighborhood, but I don't have the exact name of the neighborhood. But going through here, it is that neighborhood just bordering the area with all of the planks and stuff leading towards the river. And I will give you a full description of this place just because we got new people here. So heading into the outer gates of Yanyeth, as you get closer to the river, bending around Beachwood Retreat, you get into more wet, kind of like riverbank lands. And as you get even closer, some of it gets a little bit almost marshy as you step and your foot sinks like 6 inches into, you know, like the mud. There's a point in the outer gates here and these muddy shanty towns where the entirety of the town is propped up on like wooden boards built over this riverside, and the parts closest to the wall where you get into kind of like the rat nest of this neighborhood. You are going to find one of the building that was pointed out, and just as Nyoka remembers it, it is a 3-floor building with attached to different other buildings, sandwiched in an alleyway. Stepping into this building, no sunlight hits it from the side. Inside, it is completely black, other than torchlight, which just walking in and walking by. None of the torches give off any heat. There are a couple people moving back and forth in here to the different shelves and tomes, taking things off, bringing it to the counter, reading it. There is an old man puffing a pipe, sitting on a chair in the corner, reading a book. As you walk in, almost all eyes fall on you.
Does Nyoka remember the place? Is it the place?
From Nyoka's vague recollection, it was this place, or it was something like it. You think this is it.
Nyoka is going to pull out his arm, his inner arm, which has the clear 3 dots on it. And he's going to kind of outstretch that hand so they can see the 3 dots. And he says, and his other hand is kind of like by his elbow, or on the other side where there, like he's about to scratch it or whatever. And he says, "I'm looking for a book on magic."
As you show the symbol, the person nearest the counter who just brought down a book is going to close it and put up a hand and say, "You're in good company then."
Does she show him the symbol back?
It's a man, and he does not. But He's going to gesture for you to cover up the symbol. And he's going to say, what type of magic are you looking to get into today?
Nyoka goes, he is looking for help. Isn't that right, friend Brahm?
Yes.
May we see some tomes in the back? I think you may have what we need. Basically, Nyoka is asking for a place to speak privately.
Yeah. He's going to nod, and he's going to walk behind the counter, moving the curtain briefly. He holds up a hand for you to wait. You hear a door shutting before he comes back through and opens it for you to come around back.
Nyoka does.
Alright. He's going to nod, and as you step around back, he's going to say, sorry for the formality, but you're not really a part of our circle. I don't know if I don't know who you were sent by, but of course, you know, I must check just to make sure you're not being influenced. He pulls out his spell book and says, do you submit if would you allow me to do a couple divination spells?
Nyoka nods.
Alright. He begins casting spells, taking about 2 minutes to discern over you and say, good. Yes, this is the this is Advisor Calavera's post. And she didn't inform us that there were any other agents working inside of the retreat.
Well, that's because our what's the rank of
you are a lore keeper. Your job is to find out what's going on and tell your superiors.
Right. Kyrith is an agent. What is Aurelius?
He is an advisor.
Nyoka basically says that's because our advisor Aurelius, whatever his last name is an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Me apologize to interrupt you, but my agent Kyrith is working on the best that he has. We were sent here ill-prepared. We did not get any good intel or funds or anything to properly work in to do our job for the circle, for the sigil. Me coming here because Nyoka used to run with a gentleman by the name of Lucilith. He not very a good person. Pissed off a lot of people. But Nyoka remembered this place and remembered it helped us.
He's going to roll a history check on if he remembers Lucilith and say, Lucilith. You get a lot of people killed?
Probably. Like I said, he not very good either. See what Nyoka has to deal with?
He's gonna nod and say, I heard that reckless old gun retired to a bog someplace.
I don't know if you
Yeah.
heard what you said there, Brandon.
Oh, I'm
You
sorry.
retired what?
He said,
someplace?
I heard that reckless old gun retired to a bog someplace.
Got it.
He definitely did. He outside of whatever that place called is Falls, something Falls.
Kytelis?
Kytelis Falls.
He's going to nod and say, well then, I'll be getting Zav, and as soon as I do, I'll see if we can coordinate with your assignment.
Really, what we need is 2 bags of holding and some small funds to help us get horses and stuff. We don't know if you have that ability to help out or not, but anything can help.
He's gonna laugh and say, 2 bags of holding? What type of funding do you think we're getting over here?
Well, that's more of Kyrith's department, the agent. Nyoka just working to get the job done.
He's going to nod and say, well, sometimes you just gotta do what you can with what you got. It isn't always easy as a lore keeper, but you keep working at it. After a moment, you're going to see Zav come from the room of the closed door, stepping into this hallway, and she is going to be just fixing her collar on. She's going to say, I just ran into you and your you and Agent you and Agent DM loading, what's Kayeth's last name? Delson's other recruits at the boarding house back in Coven. She extends a hand and says, Zav, Advisor Zav Calavera.
Nyoka takes it. Hello, pretty lady. Nyoka. This be Brahm.
Rob just nods his head like, yeah.
Total.
Yeah, he just acts like security.
Yeah, she's going to nod and say, I wasn't consulted. There were other agents being deployed in town, but that is perfectly fine.
Nyoka nods and goes, that's because our advisor Raelia's an idiot. It's okay. Friend Kirith, Agent Kirith, he making do with the best that he can with what he has.
She's going to nod and say, I suppose we should debrief each other on the relevant information.
It'd be better if you debrief Kirith. He's smarter than Nyoka. He'd be the agent.
She's gonna nod and say, all right, I'm going to be making my way to Bayflame later this evening to talk with the Master of Magic. Where are you staying? I can stop by after my meeting with him.
We trying to keep a low profile, so we are in a and I named the tavern in because isn't it still in Sea Dock?
Yes, it is in Seatown. she's going to shiver and say, "Oof! I've had 3 lore keepers get killed in a sea town over the past month. I'd be careful if I was you there, but nonetheless,
That okay?
I know." Go ahead.
Nyoka familiar with the area. Nyoka is from here.
And she's gonna nod and say, "I know Harriet, and I'll stop by and see her later. You have learned the innkeeper's name. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
I will forget it in 3.5 seconds.
All right.
You're not the only.
Nyoka is going to look at her and go, "Can you help with the requisition of 2 bags of holding? And a little bit of spending gold to get some horses?"
And she's going to she's gonna just kind of like fin her smile and say, 2 bags of holding? 2? Oh, that's grand. I'll see what I can do about the horses. Any extra funding that I can lean your way. I suppose it'd be good to help Anoralis's one of his first big missions as an advisor go well.
Not that Nyoka say, "You sure he and it?"
And she's gonna think for a moment and say, "Anoralus, I thought he was in charge of the land west of the oasis. What are you doing all the way up here in Beachwood?"
Nyoka shrugs and say, "He the one that sent us here. Like I said, he not very good. That's okay. Nyoka not worried about it. Usually the dumb don't survive."
She's going to nod and say, "Well, hopefully here's to a long life for all of us." And gesture towards the door and say, "I'll bring what I can to the inn."
Nyoka smiles and say, "Thank you, pretty lady."
All right. I'm assuming.
Do I have any projects, wooden statues that I've been working on?
I don't.
If I
think so.
do,
feel like
I will
you've given
give
them
her
all
one.
away.
But I don't know if I do or not. I think I may have given them all away.
Yeah, I think you've given them all away, just from the ones I remember you were working on.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming you guys head back to tell Kaya the news?
Yes.
All right. Last person, Anaziah.
Yeah.
You get to the ferries and the oh gosh, I forgot the people who rowed the small dinghies across the bay. But anyways, you get to the
Ferryman?
transportation. Yeah, let's just go ferryman. You see Eodothea, and if you look in the bottom right.
Condolier?
Yeah, probably. If you look in the bottom right-hand corner, that's kind of like the inspiration. Like, you're in front of this massive pyramid sticking out of the bay. It is tilted probably about, let's see, 90 degrees would be straight up. It would be tilted probably about like 130 degrees or 120 degrees to the side, rising out of the water. As people come to these ferrymen, you see they just hand them gold, get into the ferry, and they start rowing across the bay. Walking up to like the nearest ferryman waiting, he'll hold his hand out for you, waiting for payment.
I'll ask how much it is to get across.
And as soon as you ask, like, how much is this, a couple people are gonna just like look over at you, like, you know, walking, like, this is a very busy dock, and, you know, just a few people be like he's gonna say, oh, excuse me, my lord, it's whatever payment you see fit for the Master of Harmony.
Now, out of character, I'm trying to remember what information. Then just more information on Dane Doolan, or
Dean Doolan?
yeah, Dean Doolan.
Yeah, what do you know about her?
No, I'm going to get information,
Mm-hmm.
right, from one of the marquees that
Magisters, yes.
and I don't know which magister it is off the top of my head, and I don't know if I'm supposed to get other information other than that for Dean Doolan.
You know, and I will share this with you. I'm not going to make you roll for it. All right. You know that Dean Doolan is sweet with with Magister Kozin Lukolin. He is in charge of the region of Yanya, the outer region of Beachwood Retreat. It is where Dean Doolan does most of her trading.
Okay.
You know that they have a small romantic thing going.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, the man in front of you. Wait, I rolled an evens or odds check. Oh, okay. I remember what that was for. He has a leather collar around his neck that is worth noting. And
Okay.
as you look across the docks, you're going to notice this more and more often.
So I'll give 2 gold.
Okay, as you put the 2 gold coins in his hand, his expression's gonna like thin a little bit, but nevertheless, he's gonna like fake a smile, gesture for you to step into the boat, and then begin rowing across the bay. The ride happens in silence unless you choose to speak to him. Otherwise, you get to Eodothia.
The only thing I would ask would be I'd ask if Magister Kozan is in the pyramid.
If he's in Eodothia, he's going to say, Magister Kozan spends a lot of time in the bathing shrines. Is that where you'd like to go?
Sure, I was trying to get an audience with him.
He's going to nod and say, all right, that's I can bring us directly there. And he is going to start rowing you towards the corner of this that is closest towards the city, that is the most sunken. As he rows you to this pyramid, he rows you completely inside of it. And you're and these 4 pieces of the pyramid that make it up, each one is like a hollowed, tiered tower inside. And this area is massive, as different boats are coming and docking at the parts of the pyramid that, as it's slanted, are coming out of the water. You can see in here, though, you hear the falling of water as water seems to be dripping off of the ceiling, collecting into aqueducts and pouring in the distance. Just walking up from the docks up the hill and into this bathing area, you can see public pools have been set up on top of here, circles and different rings collecting the water and then it flowing over the side and into the ocean. Steam rising from it, and dozens of people bathing in these different shrines, with dozens of attendants catering to each of their needs, either washing them or bringing them supplies or stuff. I'll roll you a check if Yolmar is here on a... I was going to say on 100, Yolmar is here, which is a character from another campaign who loved these shrines. It rolled a 91. Alright. There was one thing I needed before... Oh, I needed to check something. If you give me 1 second.
Okay.
This is why I have you guys fill out preference charts. Or preference things, so I know exactly what I can present you guys with. Because it's something I expected but did not plan for in this context. Cool. Okay, so as you step into here, it is worth noting there are an abundance of people in the nude, males, females, all the like, and immediately a servant is going to walk up to you, and she's going to be holding a tray and say, "My lord, may I take your equipment?"
Yes.
All right. You're able to strip down, and she says, "I'll be attending to you while you're in Eodothia. If you need anything, I'll just be a call away." She bows.
Thank you.
And stands aside the shrine. People are collected into different groups, talking to each other, occasionally, calling over their servants. This is worth noting.
Before
85 to 90% of these servants are slaves.
Yeah. Before the lady walks away, I ask her if Magister Kozan is here.
She's going to nod and point to one of the higher tiered shrines. You can see a man sitting there with about 3 others. And between the 3 of them, they have about 8 attendants attending to them, all male and female alike.
Are there guards in between, like, blocking that area off?
Blocking that area off? No. You do see occasionally roaming through Eodothia. There's going to be, those same hired mercenaries and hired hands you've seen all around the city.
Okay.
But yeah, nobody is per se restricting you from going up there.
I will approach the group and say, how would Anazai do this?
Yeah, as you walk up, they're going to just like be talking amongst each other, and the woman sitting in the water is going to say, and then she asked me not to raise the taxes on her carpentry shop. But I mean, with those types of profits, what did she expect? If you can't afford to stay in the inner city, hire your own protection and stay in the outer gates. They're going to look up at, or rather, I guess one of them's going to look up at you. And like if Inazia's like standing there outside of the water, fully in the nude, like the man's going to say, it's a nice show, but why don't you join the circle?
Oh, why, thank you. I'll accept the water. I was hoping to meet you, Magister Cozen.
He's gonna look up and say, if this is some meeting that I miss, I promise you my secretary told me nothing of the sort. I reserve these times for bathing and catching up with my dear friends and companions.
Oh, I understand. I'm simply here to set up I was hoping to set up a meeting with you for later on. I don't want to take up too much of your time. If you could point me to your secretary, we could arrange a meeting with him, and that way you can still enjoy your relaxation with your friends.
He's gonna say, no, you come all this way. What's your name?
My name is Anaziah.
And your guild or circle you represent?
I do not represent a circle. I'm in search of. I hear you have a connection to Dane Bullen.
The woman in the water is going to whistle and say, more than a connection. He's going to look at her and say, highly inappropriate. And he's going to just kind of like brush off his chest a little bit of like any suds or anything and say, and is this some type of concern with your vote? Damn, Ililnagian philosophy is getting everywhere.
No. I'm in search of someone that she has had contact with, and she might know their whereabouts where others may not. So I'm simply looking for a way to find her to inquire the information I am searching for.
He's gonna nod and say, you seem like a nice enough fella. Truth be told, she's been doing some work for the Shield Hand. Was on vacation inside of Kraylor's Fist and got some assignments. I actually haven't seen her in about a week or so. To my knowledge, I got a letter she was coming back to town tonight. How about you join us for dinner?
Well, I don't want to impose, and I do have a
Nonsense.
large...
Are you friends with her?
No, not acquainted with her at all. I was simply searching for someone. I heard that she took with her on her travels.
He's gonna roll his eye and say, so this is about the slaving business.
Indirect.
He's going to nod and say, I assure you, all of my contacts with her are clean. Everybody that she's taken a bounty on, or that she has bought into slavery, has had proper debt bonds that they could not afford to pay back on their own.
I understand that. I'm looking for this person for reasons outside of their debt.
Roll me a deception check. I should have made you roll one earlier, but just...
Yeah. I know. Hopefully.
He's going to let's say, well, I'll tell her that you're looking for her. Is there any part of town I can point her to?
Well, I don't know. I'm with a group, and I don't know how long we'll be staying in town for. I was hoping we could maybe meet her on our halfway between where she was coming from. We're on a bit of a tight schedule.
He's going to look towards one of the servants and say, "Will you escort our friend here back down to the docks? Get wherever he's staying from and have it submitted to my secretary back in Yanya. I'll have something arranged." The man is going to nod and extend a hand to help you out of the water.
Thank you.
As you start walking like out of the water, the servant who took your stuff, who's holding on to it, is going to come and offer you a towel.
I'll take it.
Dry
off mostly.
Getting down to the docks, of course, the man is going to take whatever information you wanted to give him. Do you tell him you're staying at the Hungry Harrier?
No, I'm gonna tell him we're staying at Five's place.
Okay. And do you tell him any specific time you want to meet?
I'll tell him that if it would be possible for 3 days' time.
3 days' time. Okay. He'll relay the message. As he walks away, the woman's going to start giving you your stuff back. She waits, hands behind her back, as if she's waiting for something.
Sorry, I blanked out there. She's waving at me?
She's waiting, as if she's waiting for something from you.
Use that palm, buddy.
Yeah.
Tip.
I'll give another 2 gold out.
Okay. She's
That's a lot of money, bro.
Yeah, she's going to take the 2 gold and say, "Thank you. I serve at the pleasure of the Master of Harmony." And she's going to bow and put it in a black pouch at her side and start walking back towards the shrines. You get to the ferryman.
And his eyes just get confused. He gives 2 gold to this person, that's not enough. He gives 2 gold to this person, they're like, oh, sweet!
As you get to the ferryman, the ferryman's going to extend his hand.
Oh, this is getting expensive. I'll give him 3 gold this time.
3 gold. All right, moving up a whole tier in the world. Okay. As you give him the gold, he's going to push off from the dock with you, in the boat. This time he's going to say, Master, waiting for your name, as he does not know it.
No, Master, it's just Anaziah.
Lord Anaziah, your stay wasn't very long at Eodothia.
Aw.
Most people stay and luxuriate for an entire day or trade in the bazaar.
I was simply looking, have a quick meeting with the gentleman, or arrange for a more lengthy one later on. I'm not the most water-friendly person. As my hair, and I kind of spark my hair a little bit.
He is going to nod and
Here.
say, he's gonna nod and just say, well, you don't seem like the other merchants or lords that head into Eodothia. Hard times?
No, just looking for information about someone I'm looking for.
He's going to nod, going silent for the rest of the trip until he gets you back to the docks. All right. At this point, it would be about sundown. Does Anaziah head back to the tavern?
Yes, he would.
Okay. Yeah, Anaziah would be the last person back at the tavern. Lex would have time to clean up. Kayeth would have, all the forms made. And then...
Azur would have attempted to get the gold from him to go get horses.
Yeah, he will give you the gold, but he will not send you out to get horses, as there likely wouldn't be time before when he was expecting Anaziah back. That said, you can add... What? How many horses would you need? 4 to carry
4 or 5.
Yeah, I mean, 3 would do you guys really well. But
Probably
4
Lex
gives
wouldn't
you a
be
little
riding
bit of-
by herself.
Yeah, 4 would give you guys a little comfort room. So, Alexa, what's 4 times 63?
4 times 63 is 252.
Yeah, 252 gold, and then I think he'll give you another...
250?
Yeah, I think he'll give you another...
252 is what it came up with.
Brandon
Yeah.
JV is here, so
Oh, JV!
Hello.
Hi, I didn't know you were there. So...
I just dropped in to listen in.
Okay, do you want me to tell you what's happened so far?
I can if it's not super disruptive, but also happy just to listen if there's a lot of water under the bridge.
Okay, let's see. He was able to do that first thing you sent me, and he would get 4,500 gold for it.
Hoorah.
Yeah. And so he's giving out gold to giving out gold to Azure, 252 for horses, and I was looking up the price of saddles because you guys would need to be able to ride them. Saddles were... Oh, riding saddles are so expensive. So that would be 40 additional gold. So 292 gold to
Okay.
Azure. That said, everybody is back together in the inn, and Kayeth would call a meeting together, specifically addressing what has gone on with Lex. JV, I don't know if you want me to keep controlling Kayeth, or if you want to or not.
Terror.
I'd say you keep controlling them. Keep continuity there. I'll just listen in.
Okay. All right. So
Brandon, I give Kayeth 3 silver for the added funds that I was able to get from the lady.
Hey.
I'm selling the stick that Anaziah gave me.
Be more like
Are we all back
Nyoka.
at the hotel?
Yes, everybody is back at the Hungry Harrier, and I'd say you guys are able to have like you could either get a private space at a hearth on like the 3rd floor, or in the 1st floor. There aren't a lot of people in this place. I'll say you guys are on the 3rd floor, and a commons room, or the commons area.
Lex now has a lot less blood, hopefully.
Yeah. So the party
still without the mask. Still without the mask, and very anxious, but yes, without the blood.
Would Lex's scar on their shoulder at all be visible?
Yeah, probably.
All right. Everybody will notice then, as like they're coming back together and sitting around the common area.
Nyoka whistles and go, "Ooh, the pirates!"
Too.
Mm-hmm. Say that one more time, Annie.
They probably took their cloak too, so they just kind of have like a long tunic under, but like their cloak is gone too.
Okay. Yeah, and so Nyoka would point it out. Everybody would notice. Lex is branded with the. Go ahead.
Nyoka looks at Annie and go, "Did you join the pirates today?" There's some okay people.
Wish. Yeah, they were.
Me knew
definitely something.
Me knew a pirate once. His name was Candelabber. He would throw candles at people and try and kill them with it. He wasn't a very good pirate though, and a terrible card player. Spirit Stone used to beat him at cards all the time.
Oh, that's nice. I kept your flute, by the way.
That's good.
Kayeth is going to say, that's all very well. I'm glad that all of you are able to share stories and bond together, but I think we should have a conversation about the heads that you were holding when you returned.
Heads? There was heads?
Yes, heads.
Yeah, heads.
Like as in more than one?
As in, I have 2 heads in my possession now.
Oh.
Nyoka looks at
Trophies,
it.
are they?
Nyoka looks at it and go, "Why you carry those? Throw them away."
I wish I could, but they're kind of the reason I have the pirate brand at the moment.
So you got the pirate brand so you could carry 2 heads?
No, they gave me the heads, and they branded me to make sure that I gave the person that needed the heads. The heads. It's a threat. I don't know how or why it makes sense.
Don't the people who belong to the heads need the heads?
They're dead.
Excellent point, Brent.
Lex is like wringing their hands the whole time, but they just like, I have a gold piece.
A gold piece?
I do.
Do you contribute it to the party fund?
Lex is Lex is like out of it
Excellent.
completely.
Lex, how did you get a gold piece? What happened
These
to
guys, well, you see, I thought going for a walk, trying to find my informant. And,
you? Your informer?
two guys, yes. And, I couldn't, two guys tried to rob me, and, they didn't rob me. And I said I'd work for them, because I had nothing better to do, So I went, they gave me a gold. We got a bag from the pirates, then they both died, and I now have both of their heads to deliver to the person that I hate most in this entire universe.
Okay, Naoka don't understand something.
Pilfering
Why did
pirates?
these two guys give you heads and a gold piece?
Well, they wanted me to help them be a distraction because apparently I'm very well known nowadays, even though I've been gone. But, they heard about me, that I was back in town, so they wanted me to be a distraction. So I was, and they stole opals, and, I didn't know that it was opals at the time. I didn't even know who exactly they were stealing it for until afterwards, when they almost died and they told me. But, yeah.
Opals. Did you learn anything new about opals? Why did they have opals?
They have magical opals in a bag, the pirates,
Ezra raises an eyebrow.
the Iron Wind pirate. They're shipping out gold.
No, you said magical. Magical?
They said magic rocks, and I remembered that you had mentioned something about opals. So I said opals, and I was right.
Then what happened?
Well, see, the funny thing is, I almost got away with them, and then I got stabbed from very far away. Multiple times.
Yes, I saw that much.
Tis. You
Oh.
failed the first rule of getting away. Don't get stabbed.
Sorry.
Well, we can
So
talk.
I ended
We can
up on
talk
their
strategy and battle later, but go ahead.
I ended up on their ship, and they tortured. Well, not really me. They tortured him, and then they threatened me, and then they cut off his. They cut off his head, and then, they branded me, and then they cut my hands. It hurt, and then I woke up.
With two heads tied to your legs.
Yes,
Why?
it's. It's a threat for Vrolicus.
Who's that?
Now, you said you hated this man.
Oh, I do. I do very much.
What would happen if you didn't give the threat to him? Would he be in more danger?
Yeah, he overcrossed a bound. You're not supposed to interact with people from certain levels if you're a different level. He overcrossed that.
They told you to give a threat to a person you hate, to warn him of the danger that he's in.
They don't know that I hate him. They think that I
Great.
was working for him.
So, I'm confused to why you're keeping the head. If you hate the guy, just don't give him the message. He's in more danger.
They'll find out. It's how they operate. They need to make sure that the transaction gets completed.
Well, we
Naoka-
are here. We are here with you now. If you don't wander off by yourself anymore, we can protect you.
Naoka rolls his eyes and goes, "A Jackie does what a Jackie does. Don't worry about those pirates. Most of them are
I
out to
suppose.
sea for hours on end. They get their hair dyed in the sun."
And next time we are back, we can fix your shoulder. No problem.
Alright.
Maybe even here, we can visit this magic man in the tower.
Lex.
Yes.
I'm something else I'm not gonna make you roll for. It just like hazily comes back to your mind. You are going to remember that Verlikas doesn't operate on this continent. Or he doesn't operate inside of Beachwood Retreat, which is why it's really weird that he'd be here.
Oh, I had remember
But
I mentioned that last time. I was like, what is he doing all the way over here? And
Ye-
I also mentioned it with the pirates. I was like, what do you mean? Like,
yeah.
what's he doing over here? What do you call him?
And so you also know the whatchamajiggers. The thugs told you he was going to be at the high docks tomorrow afternoon at sunset. That is information you know, which is probably why the pirates let you go, because it was just like, oh, Verlikas hired us, and it's like, okay, well, we're not gonna sail 2 weeks over to go yell at him. You go, they didn't, likely didn't know
you
that
go
he was
do it.
coming in. Yeah. But if you want to share that information with your party, you can.
Yeah. Ay, por Dios. So, one thing that you guys probably don't know about Frolic is he doesn't actually operate here in Beachwood, which is why everything is so weird now.
Mhm.
He's from... What's my hometown called again? What's the name that we made for it?
Oh gosh. Letras?
Yeah, Litras. I'm from Litras, and that's where he operates. That's where we met. And he doesn't have... He makes shipments here, but he doesn't actually do anything here. He doesn't come in person, and he doesn't send people. So that's what's really weird about all this. It's like
he was
What is he
curious
doing
what
here?
the lady with the opals is up to as well. And they managed to get some sample of magic rocks.
Magic opal, yeah.
These opals have a lot. There's a lot going on around these opals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they threatened to stab me multiple times, and they kind of did at the end, because I didn't know, and then I said opal, and then they thought that I did know. So yeah, it is kind of a big deal.
Well, the pirates probably did a lot of service just to get their hands on that bag. Or stole them.
Probably.
Because they might be the types working with her.
Kayeth is going to clap and say, well, very well done in taking initiative of getting this sorted out. But this is exactly why I wanted to call this meeting. I think we need to make a procedure for the future. If everybody can look at this agenda, you'll see it's got a brief mention, and if you flip to the back, it's got some new forms. Anytime anybody wants to take the initiative to take out a mission like this on their own, as your agent, I believe that I need to be informed and I need to approve of it. So if you could just fill out these forms before you take on any independent work contracting on behalf of the Silver Sigil. And then if you look on the back of that form, there is a services rendered. Anytime you perform a task, it is an invoice to make sure that you get the proper merits or rewards for the tasks that you have completed. And it is an invoice that you can submit to me, and I will submit to the proper channels. Does anybody have any questions?
Lex raises their hand.
Kayeth will point at you and call on you and say, yes, Lex.
What if you aren't doing things in the name of the Silver Sigil? What if it's just like a personal? You still have to log that in?
He's going to gives you a thumbs up and say, excellent question. If you see on the form, right down in the subsection 2 of it, the Silver Sigil is the primary primary organization we're contracting on behalf. But if you have personal reasons, you can mark that, and there's a box where you can write in other. Either personal or other would suffice.
All right.
Nyoka is going to start filling out the forms with Nyoka did stuff.
Oh,
Nyoka very handy.
excellent. Everyone be more
Nyoka
like
won.
Nyoka.
I just nudge Nyoka and say, "Hey, put my name on there. I was your bodyguard."
Nyoka, with the special help of Brahm, did maximum stuff.
Azur will start filling one out and say procure horses.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
With Lex.
The hierarchy
What's the brand? What does the brand look like?
on your shoulder.
Yes.
Additional.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say additional task. Shop for Lex. Clothing.
Please. Lex is like very, 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 very self-conscious, and they do not enjoy this at all.
As far as like the brand goes, let's see if I've got this written down anywhere. I remember it's like a sail, and I believe there are curved swords that make the breeze blowing into it. I actually don't have a picture of it or a description of it. So I'm going to go with that.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that description. And just please know that I could be wrong on that, and I'll look at like my deep notes later, because I keep the notes in 1,000 different places. Because, yeah. But yeah, it'll be like this parallelogram almost of like of the curved sail and just like straight sides on either side of it. And then just in the middle, there are swords with pommels, but the swords are curved like a scimitar, but in an exaggerated way to show a breeze.
Yeah. Oh, right. That looks really cool.
Oh, and Isaiah.
Oh, guys,
Nyoka.
check out my scar. It's super cool. I almost died getting it. I'm kidding.
And
Go ahead.
Isaiah.
Me?
Yeah.
Just like, ooh, whoa. Look at how impressive.
Nyoka slides you a silver piece and says
To Lex or to who?
to Anazai and say, thank you for finding me that stick. I was able to sell it for 7 gold or 7 silver.
Wow. Impressive. Very impressive. You sold a random stick I found on my walk back. for
I love that.
7 gold or 7 silver.
Mm-hmm.
A random stick I found.
What did you sell it as again?
I sold it as the Great Moto, the fire warrior from the Low Lakes.
There you go. And I just kind of like do like a flourish to the great moto.
To the great moto.
Oh. Okay. Interesting.
Interesting.
Not a lot happened tonight because we had to reunite the party. I'm comfortable ending here for the night, but if you guys want to go for like 20 or 30 more minutes, I'm also comfortable with that. If like you guys can set up like what you want to do or keep talking.
I'll turn in the form. Turn in the form to
I'm
JV.
okay with talking.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think kind Kayeth would ask, like, all right, does anybody have anything else to share? As he starts looking over people's.
I had a quick meeting with the. I already forgot what title.
Well, the Magister?
Magister Guzan. Found him in the bathhouse and the pyramid in the ocean there.
I've heard of that place. Go ahead.
Chatted with him briefly. I wanted to keep it short because he was enjoying his relaxation time.
Sounds naughty.
And I found out Dulin has sent him word that she is on her way back. So she's on her way, she's returning here. And we know she was at the Kydelus Falls. So we can assume she'd be following the route this way. Brandon, would I know roughly how long that would take?
You can roll me a survival check. But I'll give you a rough estimate, as I probably have to do it, myself too. Let's see.
Oh, good. I rolled a natural 1.
Well, if you remember what he said, you might get a little clue about some timing.
Let's see. Why is your guys' thing not doing what I need it to do? Give me 1 second. Miles, and I have to reset this up. A natural 1. That's great. Okay, I have to reset up your guys' thing to do the proper measurements, and I have it set up in another group, so I'll just look at it after this. But I'm pretty sure, at most on foot, it's like a 5-day travel. On horseback, it'd be 2.5 days, 3 days, at most. Presuming she doesn't have slaves to, carry back and forth, likely, 3 days. So, like the 24th would be, the night of the 24th would be, about on point.
Yeah.
Or, wait, I think it's the night of the 25th? I'll have to double check. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I'll take a quick look around. Is there many people in the inn, or are we in one of the rooms?
You are in a common area on the 3rd floor. There is no one else up here.
Okay, so there's no one else here? Alright.
No.
I'll say I told the Magister that we're looking for Dane Dulin because she might have information about the whereabouts of someone that we're looking for that she'd taken with her on her journey. And I also set up a meeting for him in the future, but at this point I felt that he was starting to get suspicious of me. So when I set up the meeting, I told the secretary that we were staying at the inn we were at previously that we did not want to stay at, and set up the appointment for 3 days from now. If we want to be there for that, we can, or we could just disappear.
Disappear. Make a sound. No, Lex isn't gonna.
Were you followed?
I have no idea. Didn't think of that.
That's not very good.
I'll look
Shouldn't
out
you know
the
that
nearby
you're being
window.
followed?
I'll find a window that overlooks the street and see if I can see anyone watching the building.
I would say that's a That would be either a perception check or an investigation check.
Alrighty, let me see. Investigation sounds good.
Yeah, just going out, scanning the crowds of anybody watching the building.
From above, if possible, just so they're not really noticed easily.
Yeah, I mean, you might notice like 2 or so people paying attention to this building. You're not sure like who they are, but you know the crowds of Beachwood seem pretty busy. These people, you know, aren't exactly like just like intently staring at the building. However, they seem to be, you know, going about menial
tasks.
Yeah, that word. Task in the area.
All right. Well, I'll study their features.
Boxes on stacking boxes. Stacking boxes on stacking.
Yeah, I'll study their features a bit so I can recognize them, and go back and tell the others.
Okay.
This building's being watched by a few individuals, it seems. I'll describe them.
Yeah, as you
Does the
describe
description
them.
sound familiar at all?
No, not to you.
Okay.
Bram and Nyoka. You're pretty sure you saw one of those people in the bookstore.
At the store that we got the bag from?
Yes.
Or the spice?
Well, not yet. Not the spice. The bookstore
library.
where you talked to Zav.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they realized the item you gave them wasn't worth that much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it's worth. Do we want to talk to them? Find out why they're here?
We should invite them in if they're from the sigil.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you say that, I just get up and start walking out towards them.
Okay.
Seems Zav is watching us. Interesting.
How long has it been since I popped out my
I'd go fight
astral
them.
arms?
But
Should we grab-
I've had 2 heads,
Sorry.
so I don't want to.
Have I had enough time? Have I had a short rest since then?
You have not had a short rest.
Okay.
As far, hit me with those one more time. I didn't exactly hear everybody, so let's, Annie, what, did you say?
No.
Okay.
She's just smuttering about her heads and not wanting people to come visit.
Fair. And I heard Havoc on Bram's short rest, and somebody else said something, but I didn't catch it.
I wanted to say that I think we should grab the second one while we're at it and invite them inside as well.
Okay. Heading outside, you guys are going to heading outside, Bram, just at the area Azure pointed to, you're going to notice a elf helping a halfling stack boxes. As soon as they get them stacked, you know, they start moving them just a few feet over, and just anybody passing by wouldn't notice this, but you know, they've kind of been here for a little bit. As you approach them, they're going to just kind of like look up at you, and the elf, the woman, she's going to say, Iliaria.
Oh? Who's
Something in
this?
Elvish? Oh, the greeting, right?
No, it's a little Nagian.
What?
It's a what?
It's a Lil Nagian. It's hello. It's how a specific culture says hello. It's Latin, basically, for it would be like the Latin of just saying your soul's alive.
And thieves can't. Nyoka asks,
As your soul isn't alive. Oh no, Bram's down there. Never mind.
In Thieves' Cant, Nyoka says, "So what you watching?"
Well, yeah, they would recognize Nyoka and definitely Bram. And responding in Thieves' Cant. This sounds like a very extended conversation about sparkly tiaras.
Oh.
And in Thieves' Cant, they reply saying, Sav is at, our advisor, Calavera, is at Bayflame. She wanted us to check out the Harrier before she came here, just to make sure it's safe. Never be too safe, especially dealing with the Lodocks.
Brandon,
And
were they
common-
both together?
In common, Nyoka switches and says, "Friend, I might be able to help you out. How about you come inside for a drink?"
Yeah, and they're going to nod. Each
And I just kind of butt tap Brom.
Rob follows because he gets the message.
Did I see a second person, or were these the two?
These were the two. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
As I do that, I take my staff and I kind of smash it on the ground as hard as I can, just because I'm frustrated.
Mm-hmm. No fighting yet. Ah!
No fighting, please.
You should have been with Lex.
Shush.
All right.
Things would have went differently if we were with Lex.
Yeah,
I should have just jumped in the river.
Yeah.
What if Lex says that out loud? Lex is just like, I should have just jumped in the river when I had
You gotta fill out a river jumping initiative form first before. I'm kidding. Anyways,
Look what you started.
as
I apologize.
the party's gonna be all back together, stepping upstairs with a elf in a traveler's cloak and a halfling dressed in very nice garment or fine garments.
Do I recognize anybody?
I'll roll you a percentage die.
Oh, thank you.
You might have seen this halfling a couple times around Alexa's house.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, as far as like who they are or what they were doing there, you don't remember. Although, they're both going to step upstairs. Just join the party. Delia is going to be the first one to speak, the elf, and say, we were sent on behalf of advisors of Calavera.
Oh. Is she in town?
She nods and says, yes. Two members from your circle came and requested that she meet with you.
Oh, interesting. I met her before we came here.
Where are they staying?
She's going to smile and say, we don't reveal the insides of our operations.
Oh, you already said it.
So
I heard you before.
What is it with Alex Xavier?
She's going to shake her head and say, no, simply if you get compromised, the less you know, the better. Not everybody can withstand torture. Some of the people,
Looks pointedly at Lex.
some of the people within the sigil were employed for their minds, not their brawn.
Glances at Lex.
Well, thank you for taking our invitation and coming off the street. You can see
Matt,
that it's fairly safe here.
Brendan, with that statement, Nyoka looks at them and go, Nyoka lived by that example. The less he know, the more he is.
I love him so much. Lex is gonna reach over and pat Nyoka on the shoulder.
So do you wish us to send you back to her now, or?
The halfling is going to perk up and say, she just finished her meeting at the Bayflame. She'll be on her way momentarily. And Idella...
Nyoka asks if he wants a drink, if they want a drink while they're there.
The halfling is going to put a hand on her chest and say, drinking? On the job? This is Beachwood Retreat. If you don't keep your wits about you, somebody will swindle you.
Lex is gonna kind of like swoop in. I apologize. He hasn't been here in, like 30 years minimum. So he doesn't quite remember how it is now.
Not gonna worry about that. Nyoka could be the one swindling.
Azur raises an eyebrow.
Idella...
Nyoka, you're supposed to be polite to the company.
Idella is going to...
Well, Lex gets stabbed.
Chuckle and say, I'll take that drink then. The halfling's going to look up at her and say, Zav will be hearing about this. The elf is going to shrug and say, my blades are still sharp.
Azur laughs. That's the spirit. Let's go drink.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'll play you a tune. Let's go down to the common room.
You're in the common room.
Okay, we can stay in this one. I'll get someone to send up some drinks. And he steps downstairs and comes back with his loot.
Alright, talking to Harriet, the innkeeper, she'll send up a party platter with you. You gotta carry it yourself, though.
That's fine.
That's, I love her.
He just straps his loot on and has his hands free.
Yeah, if you guys just sit down with Idella and the halfling, eventually you'll learn the halfling's name is Dishra. And after maybe 20-25 minutes, stepping upstairs into the room is Zav Calavera.
One question was JB.
The nice one.
Was JB was Kirith shocked when they came in because Nyoka didn't really tell Kirith that.
That is fair. I'm gonna roll him a. Does he compliment your initiative, or does he remind you to inform the party of your intent with the proper forms? And I didn't need to set parameters. Under 50, he reminds you to inform the party of your intent, and
Nyoka just grabs a form and goes, "Ask for stuff."
No, I was about to roll it now. I don't.
No, Nyoka does that.
Okay.
He pulls out it, "Ask for stuff," and then slides it to JB. Their form.
To Kaya. Okay. Yeah, and Kaya will compliment your initiative and say, well done on contacting the other members in our order, but in the future, just be a little bit more descriptive with your words, Nyoka.
He grabs the paper and slides it back. Really requested stuff, and slides it back to him, and smiles and nods.
All right. After that Zav is going to enter the room. I would like to have this roleplay with JV present. So do you guys mind if we end here for the night?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Technically, JV is present in the room, but
yeah,
actually,
I don't want to make
know if
decisions
he's in
for
a
him.
situation he can actually converse and stuff.
Yeah.
probably not.
Because like this is one of those areas that can just push you guys in different directions, and I want whatever direction you to go in to be, you know, your guys' choice. Tonight, I was mostly focused on reuniting the party. So that was my major concern. As far as like pushing forward, I'm trying to think if any major information was revealed. Tonight.
Existence of the baths are pretty important.
Oh yeah, Eodothia is the nicest place in the world. It is the Temple of Living Pleasure.
It cost me 8 gold to go
Oh.
dip my toes in, and I still feel like a cheapskate going there.
They had a drug house you could have gone to. See, the expectation is that anyone who goes to Eodothia is like ballin'. So it's one of those places, and I don't know if you've ever been to a restaurant like this. I
the people.
hate them.
Gold,
there's no
$400 on a meal. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no price. Like, there's no prices listed on any of the menus. Of just like, oh, it's a
If
lobster
you have to
dinner,
ask,
and
you
it's-
can't afford it.
Yeah, it's like, how much does this cost? Look at the poor person. I'm kidding. But yeah, that's the type of place it is. So, as far as experience for tonight, Lex. So you have confirmed the opals are being used to make magic rocks. Kraylor's Fist has invented something new with them. As to what, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sure would have been good if you didn't get shot in the back.
I know, right?
Or stabbed in the front, or, you know. Okay.
I really should have jumped the bridge.
Yeah,
Live and learn, huh?
yeah, Verlikas is coming to Beachwood Retreat, and Dean Doolin will be here on the on either tonight or tomorrow night. I have to go and do the math. Was there anything else important that was revealed tonight? You know what? I'm gonna give minor experience for some of the things JV messaged me, even though they did not happen on screen. That'll be fun story stuff that comes up later. So in total, 100, 300, 400.
Well, they also learned about Vrolikis. So that's
Yeah,
new for
I
them.
did count. I did count that for you.
All right.
I completed partially the tasks I was given from JV.
Yeah, I will give Lex, or rather, I'll add on another tick of minor experience. So in total, 600 experience for tonight.
Ooh.
Oh, yay.
And I think, let me think about everything that happened this session.
Well, saved and restored Lex.
I'm thinking inspiration for Azure and Isaiah tonight, as far as like the roleplay at the bathing house, and finding Lex on the trash pile and just like, hey, what's it go? Oh, you got a tattoo. Oh, you got heads on your legs.
Oh yeah, this
Wild night. Unless there are any other moments that people think were like super important. I just think those were really good moments of roleplay. All
One
right.
thing I'd like to comment on is I'm pretty sure Brahms and Nyoka's mission was to go out and earn gold. Was it not? And they spent the entire time shopping.
Yeah,
No.
ask no questions. Ask no questions.
No,
What's up, Shelby?
so no, the object was we were trying to get gold so we could get 3 bags of holding. So
Okay. So
So-
a bag of holding is, so
so Nyoka cut out the middleman and went shopping
Mhm.
to locate the said bags of holding if there was 3 of them, and to acquire as many as he could without having to actually go out and work, because Nyoka doesn't want to work. Let's face it.
also, just a question for you, Brandon.
Yes.
Keyleth went off to work on the health potions by himself.
Yes.
How'd that go? Because
Um,
doesn't he require a healing spell to make it work?
Yeah, ask no further questions about that.
Yeah, that's
Just
what I was
be
like.
happy you guys have money for horses and whatever else. you do.
Right. How did we? That's interesting.
Otherwise, if JV wants to share with you guys in the group chat, he is welcome to. It's
Yeah,
just
'cause
stuff that was shared
that's
with
a
me in a
lot of-
message, so it's like I don't want to, broadcast all of it because it just didn't happen on screen.
Yeah.
If
Somehow
it was,
he acquired a massive amount of gold.
yeah, if it was stuff that actively worked against the party or was like going against your guys' goals, we all talked about the type of group we want to be in and what we want to play in, and like that's not fun for anyone. So please trust, I wouldn't do any stuff like that off screen.
Oh no! I was just wondering because I was like, if he's going to work on the potion,
I handled it off
he
screen
can't-
because I didn't
Yeah.
want to sit and role play with myself for 15 minutes.
no, that's fine. Like I understand that. I was just curious if he'd made any progress on the potions at all or not.
Okay, so experience tonight, 600 for everybody, and then inspiration for Azure, and then in Isaiah, the first one is for Azure, 100 additional experience. You can choose to divide that up amongst the party, or you can take it all for yourself, and then there is inspiration for Isaiah. You can have a prayer replicate a first level spell of your choice. As a whatever the action of that spell. Real quick, I am about to end the broadcast though, and then we can sit around and talk. Last thing I'm going to say, our next session is going to be on the 21st of March, but it's tentative. We'll either cancel or reschedule depending both my and Havoc's schedule.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
You are.
If I divvy to the party, what happens?
I just divided by 6.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, 100 divided by 6. I need a calculator. Wait, I should know this. It's 16.66666. I'll just say everybody gets 17 additional experience. So 617 for tonight.
Okay. I have about 2317 then.